sometimes the one thing that you really don't want to do because it's so hard is actually the exact thing that you have to do and that you need to do in order to fulfill your purpose and to be your best self. Whether it be starting up a podcast, whether it be going on your healing journey, whether it be speaking truth, even if it's completely unpopular, but like you know it's the right thing to do, you have to go for it. So it all comes down to choosing the harder right over the easier wrong, as Alec Zeck often talks about. So find out more in today's video. Let's get it. What's happening, YouTube fam? Jared Wykes back here with another video on the Jared and James channel. If you guys didn't know, that must mean that you're not subscribed to the channel, so you know what to do. Smash that subscribe button, be sure to leave a like, drop a comment, let me know what you guys think of this video, let me know what you guys think of all my content, follow me on every platform. So for today's video, we're going to be talking about why sometimes in life you have to choose the harder decision because you know it's the right thing to do. So first off, I think that all of us have been blessed with certain gifts, and some of these gifts we just have to cultivate. Whether it be the person who walks into a room and immediately everyone feels that person's positive energy lifting them up, whether it be you have some people who are honestly so grounded themselves that like whenever other people are around them, their thoughts immediately become more grounded. They immediately feel more at ease, more at peace.
I am simply at peace.
And then you also make other people feel safe and give them the comfort in opening up to you, which is one thing that like I think I do pretty well. You have your healers, you have your artists, you have your athletes, and many of us have many of these gifts. But whatever it is that we feel so strongly called to do, whatever resonates with our heart, whatever really lights us up, we need to do that thing and more of it no matter how hard it is, because in doing that we're going to bring more of our light into this world. And no matter how hard it is to see that goal coming to fruition, no matter how hard it is to see what we're being called to do turning into something big, once we see the path coming into our vision, we need to follow it. Even if it's just that 1 in a million chance, almost as like Doctor Strange says during Avengers Infinity War.
Forward in time to see all the possible outcomes.
How many did you see?
14,605,000.
How many did we win?
1.
When Tony Stark, aka Iron Man, is asking Doctor Strange whether there's any path to them winning, and then he says there's a 1 in 13 million chance, but like the only way it happens is if you do this. Or coming back to what Chris said when I had him on the podcast, who says that you're not that 1 in a million?
I always heard about the 1 in a million. You know, everybody talks about, oh, you want to go do this, you want to go do that. It's 1 in a million. But whoever told you that you're not that 1 in a million?
If you're being called to do something, it's because you have something special to offer this world. And how will you ever know if you are that 1 in a million if you never go after it?
And standing around your bed, the ghost of the dreams, the ideas, the abilities, the talents given to you by life, but you, for whatever reason, you never pursued those dreams. You never acted on those ideas. You never used those gifts. And there they are standing around your bed looking at you.
If you never go after your dreams, how are you going to know that you weren't meant to do the impossible? It's like when it came to me starting up this YouTube channel and also starting up the podcasting section of the channel, as well as also appearing on numerous other people's podcasts, with all my major speech issues that I've been dealing with and all of the health issues that I've been healing from totally holistically, I could have just said to myself, you know what, maybe doing this isn't meant for me. In spite of the fact that I feel so called to speak my message to the world, and in spite of the fact that I fully believe I have an incredible story to tell people, I could have been thinking to myself, what if no one listens to me because I have all these speech issues? What if people laugh at me? What if no one values what I have to say? But I knew deep down in my heart of hearts that I was being called to put some of my gifts on display, to speak all my messages, to inspire people through my podcast, as well as through my athletic feeds, through my videos. I have a lot to tell the world, and so I wasn't going to let these seeming flaws or imperfections stop me from putting out my message to the world, and from going for it and starting up this podcast. And like, look at how many people I've inspired and how many people I've influenced in only the first 1.5 years of doing this. Almost 2 years now. And I have a long way to go. And every time I receive one of these messages, I know that I made the right choice in going after this. As hard as it was to overcome this fear.
It's okay, lose to opponent. Must not lose to fear.
as hard as it is every time to put myself out there, I know that I have to choose the harder right over the easier wrong. In this case, that would be not embracing the fact that I'm destined for greatness. That would be not putting myself out there and just living a conventional mediocre life, which I know I was never meant for. My whole life I always knew that I was meant for great things. So even if you're afraid that someone's gonna laugh at you,
funny how?
even if you're afraid that others are gonna ridicule you and tell you all the reasons why you can't follow your dreams and why you can't be this amazing human, you have to do it anyways. Moving further along, sticking with the topic of my whole healing journey, every day I've been on this healing process. As I mentioned to Sway in the podcast with Chris and Sway, I've been faced with this decision whether to give up and just say that healing wasn't meant for me, and to just believe all the doctors who claimed that everything that I was going through was totally incurable, listen to all the naysayers, all the doubters. Or on the other hand, I could take the harder path, keep doing what I have just to get 0.1% better every day, even if it's not noticeable. Do the same holistic health routine that I know is going to get me better week by week, day by day, year by year. And then I'm going to look back and see all the improvements, but like, I don't get there unless I choose the harder right over the easier wrong every single day, every single input, and every time I'm faced with this decision, whether to just give up and call it quits or to keep going in spite of not seeing the results. I know I have to pick the harder decision because that's the only one that's going to get me fulfilled, that's the only one that's going to get me to my dreams, and that's the only one that's going to inspire any of you out there who might be listening to this. I mean, I'm talking to plenty of people every day, whether it be at the gym, whether it be my friends, whether it be on here, on social media. And so in spite of these speech issues or speech perfections, based on where I'm at right now, that I haven't let stop me in the slightest and that haven't limited my reach in any way, shape, or form, I've managed to impact so many different lives because I'm doing the one thing that feels extremely uncomfortable, which is speaking to people in spite of my stammering and stuttering, knowing that I'm getting better every day though, even though others might not see it. But like, I'm putting myself out there as hard as it is, even though I might be judged by some people, even though some people might not want to listen to me. I know that I have to choose my best path, and I have to do the one thing that's hard every day, every time I'm faced with that decision, because that's going to get me to where I need to go.
The easy route never pays well. The only route in life that pays well is the hard route, the struggle, the pain, the frustration, and the overcoming of those things.
And sometimes you're the only one who can get yourself out of that sunken place, out of that place where you feel like you can't keep going. Sometimes you're gonna have to make the decision on your own. You're not gonna have anyone there to lift you up. You're gonna have to get yourself out of that place by yourself. But then once you do that, then you're gonna start finding your supporters. Then you're gonna have people to help encourage you, push you along your path. But like, once you know that path and once you see what you have to do, you gotta go for it. Even if it's uncomfortable, even if it's going to be looked down upon by others, you have to get yourself out of that mindset, out of that horrible state. And once you do that, you're going to find other people to inspire and other people who are going to be there to help you and there to encourage you. Next, when it comes to speaking up on some of these hard truths, on some of these quote-unquote conspiracy theories that I've been doing, maybe I will be ridiculed by some people who aren't open-minded, who aren't critical thinkers, who aren't willing to do the research for themselves. Maybe I will be laughed at. Or on the other hand, maybe I'll inspire other people to do the same. Maybe I'll inspire other people to start questioning everything. I mean, when it comes to speaking up about toxic pharmaceutical industry, the chemicals being sprayed on us, the fake news, the fake and hidden history that we've been taught, all these things might get me looked down upon by people who are just following the mainstream, we're just going along to get along because that's essentially what this whole indoctrination education system has taught everyone to do. Just follow orders.
Win this one because I told you to.
Because you told me to!
Never question and just go along to get along. But by being the black sheep, by being the one who steps out of line, who thinks to themselves, does this actually make sense? I might be encouraging other people to do the same, and in doing so, I know that I'm bringing more truth to the world. I'm helping other people see the light, and maybe I could help other people go on their own healing journeys as well once they wake up to some of these things. Maybe I can help some people find more of God even, because a lot of these conspiracy theories actually lead you back to God, actually lead you to this amazing place and seeing the world for what it really is.
Why do you you think that Truman has never come close to discovering the true nature of his world until now?
We accept the reality of the world with which we're presented. It's as simple as that.
As opposed to this limited world that you've been shown, and this world full of lies. So by being someone who's always choosing the harder right over the easier wrong, even though it's gotta be shadow banned, even though I'm sure some people have ridiculed me for having these beliefs, I know that other people might be woken up by some of these things. Maybe other people might feel encouraged to share more truth in the world. Maybe other people have felt compelled to research some of these theories. Maybe I've helped open up some other minds. But like the only way I could do that is by risking ridicule, is by risking shadow ban, is by risking other people thinking I'm crazy, is by risking other people thinking I'm stupid for not just following orders, for not just going along to get along. But like, I'd rather be someone who stood up for what I believed in rather than being someone who was too afraid for fear of being judged. And sometimes by being the first person who speaks out on some of these things, yes, you're bound to get ridiculed by others, you're bound to get made fun of. But then a few years down the line, maybe even just a few months down the line, you're gonna have other people looking back and saying like, maybe Jared was right about some of these things. I can't believe I didn't see it before. Maybe the truth was always being hidden in plain sight, and maybe it was just up to me to open that door and pull back the curtain and start looking at some of these things for myself. Moreover, when you're someone who's following the unconventional path, whether it be holistic healing, whether it be taking a job that doesn't have this guaranteed salary that might not work out, whether it be starting up a podcast, whether it be anything that just shows that you're trying to make more of yourself, that you're really going after your dreams, some days maybe you're gonna feel like you're not getting anywhere. You're stuck. You're in that quicksand and you don't see a path out. So then you start feeling some doubt, you start wondering if maybe you should just go back to the way society wants you to be, if maybe you should just tuck your tail between your legs, stop speaking all this truth, just go back to going along to get along, believing the lies, believing that you're not special, believing that you're not meant for more. Just know that doing things the unconventional way is always going to be the harder way, but 9 times out of 10, it's going to be the right way, and it's going to be the one that leads to you living your best life and living to the fullest.
The supers aren't gone, Mr. Incredible. You're still here. You can still do great things. Or you can listen to police scammers.
It's normal to have these doubts. It's normal to question whether you're on the right path. It's normal to even consider quitting. But like, every time you face that decision to quit or not quit,
Maybe I should just quit and go back to making noodles.
Quit, don't quit. Noodles, don't noodles. You are too concerned with what was and what will be.
and you choose to get back up and do what you know you have to do in order to get you to your goals, you're winning, and in the end, you're not going to fail. You're going to have an amazing story to tell about overcoming adversity, about overcoming doubt. Maybe you're someone who used to go out and party all the time, who was going out drinking, smoking with your friends, but then you finally realized that like maybe it was time to make more of yourself, stop living this life just based around short-term pleasures. So you finally make the decision to slow down on going out or even stop drinking altogether. But then maybe your old friends, the low frequency people, the ones who were just living their mediocre lives, they start trying to convince you to go out with them more, to do whatever they're doing, because they try to tell you that doing this is fun and you're never going to make anything more of yourself, so why are you even trying?
That's why no one will remember your name.
But as hard as that might be for you to decline,
Not this time, Oz.
you do it anyways because you know that your purpose is way bigger than just getting drunk every weekend, than filling yourself up with poison, than filling yourself up with all these toxic inputs. So you can politely decline, because as hard as that decision might be for some of you, you're showing the universe what you really want, what you really value, and that decision is going to get you one step closer to your goals. And maybe that is the hardest thing for you to do. Step away from that toxic friend group, for you to start living a healthier life. Maybe the hardest thing for you to do is go to the gym when you're lacking that motivation, when you don't have people clapping for you, but like, you go anyways because you fall back on your discipline. You know that doing that is the right thing to do. You know that making that decision is going to get you further in the long run. Even though you might have a long road ahead, and even though you might not see all that visible progress right away, it's going to pay off. And so one more thing I want to leave you guys with before I wrap things up is it might be safer to follow, but it's always going to be more fulfilling to lead. So even though you might be the black sheep, you might be the only one questioning things, you might be the only one going after your dreams, you might be the only one believing something, you might be the only one believing in yourself and believing that you're meant for greatness, but like, as long as you know in your heart of hearts that you're making the right decision, that you're choosing the harder right over the easier wrong, you're going to be that 1 in a million. You're going to be the one who makes it, and you're going to be the one who gets rewarded by God in the universe, because I believe that God is always going to reward the people who work hard, people who understand their purpose, who follow their dreams, who help inspire others, and who don't quit, because you can't defeat someone who doesn't give up. So anyways, I love you guys. Hope you guys were inspired by this message. Hope this video reminds you to pick the harder right over the easier wrong. Hope this video reminds you that maybe that one decision that you've been contemplating for a long time, the decision to start living the life of your dreams, start up a podcast, to pick up that sport again, to make that artwork, to do things the unconventional way, that maybe the reason that thing is calling you so much is because that's actually what you're meant to do. And so I hope this video inspires you to make that decision, to do the one thing that might be the one thing that like you don't want to do because you know how hard it is, but like you know that doing it is the right thing to do. So I love you guys. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. Be sure to drop a like, leave a comment. Let me know what you guys think of this video, and we out, chat. Peace.